Mac, Mr. McSqueezy, and welcome to the, I guess we call it the Silent Hill block of Clock Tower Time Tick, or Cock Tower Time Tick, as it's most lovingly known now as. Yeah, so this is Silent Hill 1. It is the start of the Silent Hill saga. We've got Harold Mason, who controls like a complete tank, and we're going to be doing the All Bosses category here today. So you won't see the out of bounds skip for either the amusement park or the mid game, but you're going to see a lot of the game that you wouldn't normally see. So we'll get started. Timer starts in a few seconds. I'll do a little countdown for that, and I'll take you on a little journey through the foggy town that is Silent Hill 1. So timer starts in 3, 2, 1 now. So if you haven't played Silent Hill, it starts off with our main man here, Harold, bonking into walls Mason. He's crashed his car and he's lost his daughter. Both equally terrible things, and we're going to try and at least correct one of those things today by trying to find his daughter. So we nearly come close to this goal. He's going to see his daughter now. There she is.
Cheryl? Is that Cheryl?
And he's going to talk a bit fast. I'll explain about that in a second. But what I can't explain is why Cheryl runs faster than Harry. Science just can't explain it. But what science can explain
Wait, stop!
is why he talks so fast. I'm running this on a PlayStation 2, and we're using fast disk speed. So this is a great way of kind of cutting down on cutscenes in terms of time. And it just kind of speeds up the voices a little bit. It speeds up the music a bit as well. So the UFO ending for this game runs so much faster in the credits. The credits still roll while the song has kind of finished for like, I think like 2 minutes or something like that. Anyway, Harry is just, you know, throwing caution to the wind, or no caution to the wind here. Just running down a dank, dark alleyway. I don't know why Cheryl went down here. But this alleyway is I'd say the reason for, I think, quite a few resets for me on the any percent category of this game. Just because you kind of want to try and get a fast death at the end of this category. This alleyway, not category. Which is not quite random, but you do have to kind of line yourself up a bit nicely for it. So if I do this, hopefully, yes, we got the grab. And quick death as well. That's actually pretty good. Spoiler alert, that was all a dream. Harry was imagining that in his old head. And he's gonna wake up in a cafe. And this is where the game starts now. And this is where the speed run starts a bit as well. We've got a little bit of fine movement here. I am going to pick up this health drink just because I don't want to get caught short on health. And this hitbox, lovely, pick up the knife. The fun fact of this cafe is that you can't actually leave the cafe until you picked up the map, the flashlight, and the knife. They're key items that the game just says you absolutely need. You can't leave without them. And of course our famous radio. What's wrong with that radio? I don't know. Maybe somebody's coming through the window like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our first air screamer. And if you heard me counting there, that air screamer has random health pool. So sometimes it will go down in 4 shots. Sometimes it will go down in 3. Sometimes it goes down in 6. It's entirely random. You're more likely to get a 5 shot though from memory. But once he's done, we pick up the radio because we kind of need that. Harry needs it for reassurance. He wants to listen to some tunes. I think Harry's the kind of person that'd listen to Limp Bizkit. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think, you know, he just kind of casually enjoy it as he goes along. But his main quest now is to find Cheryl. If you're playing the game casually, you might try and explore the alleyway where you had the nightmare and had to wake up. But if you're running the game, you don't actually need to do that. But in that alleyway, there's a little notebook from Cheryl. And she's basically telling you to go to school. And she draws a very nice picture of Harry. Very true to form, I would say. If you haven't seen the picture, treat yourself, have a little look. It's quite something. That Cheryl, she's going to grow up to do some great things, as you'll find out in the next run. So anyway, we're picking these keys up. We've got another air screamer there. I sometimes refer to these as flappers, just because they've got flappy wings and they like to get in front of me and kind of hit me. If they hit you, you kind of lose a little bit of time, of I think 1 to 2 seconds or something like that. Kind of depends how mad you get as they hit you. But generally they're quite nice to avoid. You'll get the odd one that likes to come out and just kind of get in the way. But for the most bit, you can generally take certain lines in terms of movement to not trigger them and not have them hit you. This one here, though, I think is kind of random. He'll just kind of get you. We might be okay here. He's chasing, but he's not chasing me too far. That's excellent. Now there is a little bit at the end of this road that we need to get to. There's a little note that tells us we need to go to the doghouse. So if we examine the doghouse first without getting this bit of paper, we get that it's a doghouse, but there's no dog around me. Despite the fact there being, you know, 2 dogs just waiting to pounce on Harold. We need to pick that paper up first to know where the key is, and then we're done with the first section of the game, the intro section, and we're led nicely into the school. I don't know if there's any donations about, but this is probably a good time for maybe 1 or 2, because this bit takes a little bit of time. So there we go. Off to the doghouse now. And these trees can get in the way a bit sometimes. They will often... They won't come out of nowhere. But they you can run into them and it's not quite fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 11. So I count 11 steps there, and we try and turn into the bookshelf and then into the door, and that allows us to unlock the door without bonking into it. Things have now gone dark. Either Harold's gone through a time machine, or I don't know, daylight savings got brought forward really quickly. And this is a nice little mechanic to try and explain here, is that we've got a light source now. Sometimes, I don't know how true this is, but I feel like sometimes enemies are kind of attracted to the light source. So I tend to try and turn it off for certain enemies, particularly in the school. And there's actually a strat we do in the school as a kind of safety line involving turning the light on and off. And in terms of line work here, I'm trying to keep as tight as possible because I want to really get a good entrance to the school here. All bosses is a bit more forgiving than any percent, just in the fact that you don't have to worry about doing any glitches. So it is just pure game and pure movement that way. So here is school, and there's an interesting fact about this game because we're playing on PlayStation. You can use the D-pad to move Harry, or you can use the analog stick. There are some rooms, like this room that we just went through, where if you're holding up on the D-pad, Harry will kind of take a walking step, whereas if you're holding the analog stick down, he will just run. So there's a few rooms that are really efficient for that. Now, Dead by Daylight enjoyers will hopefully recognise this map and love this map, I hope. It's actually my favourite map on Dead by Daylight. No lie. But yeah, we're going to pick up a chemical. We are going to use the chemical on this hand here. Hopefully I'm in the right place. I am. Good. So we've got one of our first medallions for, I'm going to say it, the clock tower. We're going to try and unlock the clock tower. If Harry goes the right way, I might just call it the clock tower from now on. So light off here, I didn't do that, so I cannot grab there. This is why I pick up the health drink. We want to make sure that I don't get grabbed too many times. There we are. There's our first clock tower use. And the next step for us to do is to go to the music room, because there's another medallion in that room. Now this is a puzzle which always confused me as a kid, just because I never really knew what keys to press. So in a speedrun sense, you learn it pretty quickly. It's quite a nice puzzle, I find. There's another interesting interaction here we've got with the analog stick and the D-pad. There's a little cursor we get here. So with the D-pad, the cursor moves quite slowly. With the analog stick, it moves real fast. And that is a fast piano puzzle. That's pretty good. I practiced that for a good sort of half an hour earlier, because I don't want to embarrass myself by getting a ding. Because if you hit the wrong key, you'll hear a little ding on the piano. And that's just kind of like every speedrunner's worst nightmare. The ding of shame. So here's our first sort of light tech here. So what I did was I took a small walking step forward, and as we did that, turned the light off, and it kind of baits the enemies, the grey children in there, to sort of go the wrong way, and it just makes life a bit easier for us to get past. So we're going to do that again on the way back. Gonna flip the Jenny, and then school's about to get a whole lot dirtier and rusty. Just a little bit of time here where Harry's kind of contemplating his life decisions. And as we're all want to do if we visit Silent Hill. I thought I turned my light off there a bit early, but that's fine. We got it. We're now entering the clock tower. And the clock tower is going to change us. Much like if you donate to the charity that we are supporting today, you can help change some lives. So if you want to donate, please feel free to. There is the end of our normal school run, and we're now going into Nightmare School, or Rusty School. And we're going to go to this card here. This is our yellow card. We need this to get through. There's a particular door, there's like 3 square holes in it. I don't really look at it too much in the speedrun sense, but we're going to pop this in this door just over here. This corridor I just run in the dark, because there's 3 grey children there. Sometimes the one in the middle there gets in the way, sometimes the one at the end gets in the way. But this is a great way of just sort of avoiding any memes from them. This guy's having a good time. He's left us a nice little shotgun. This is going to be our weapon of choice for the rest of the run, really. We don't really use any other weapons, unless I run out of ammo, in which case I might have to use another weapon. But no, the shotgun is very, very powerful, and it really suits all of our needs. So a very quick phone check. That was Cheryl. She's just telling us she's okay. And not to hurry up at all or anything like that. So this is quite a fast-paced run, really, with all the items we have to pick up and all the rooms we have to go into. There's lots of sort of micro adjustments you can do in terms of movement as well, trying to take the the right lines and stuff like that. But it's a very rewarding run to play, whether it's any percent or all bosses. Just sort of seeing how clean you can get some lines or how things can be done differently. Here we're going to equip the shotgun and use the rubber ball to just kind of get in the hole there. I'm going to plug that up, and then we're going to use a valve to fill that hole up. There's a key in the hole we just checked, and we're going to get that in just a few seconds. So it's a weird cutscene. This game is timed by IGT rather than RTA, so thankfully for this cutscene, IGT is paused, just to make life a bit easier for us. And I think I mentioned Harry likes to bonk. This is a good bonking spot for Harry. He'll sometimes not go through the door and just try to hug it, which is, understandable. I would take any support I could get in a town like this. Another enemy here to do a little light trick on. And then we're going to try a little strafe movement here. I really like this strafe. It feels so satisfying when you pull it off. It's like a nice little smooth movement. And we dodged the grey child there as well. That's brilliant. Just a few more classrooms to go through. I'm going to pick up some shotgun shells. Avoid this lot. So again, this hitbox here, it's quite nice. You can get it quite late, and it just helps with your positioning, getting out the room. And a nice little locker room here. Bit of strafe. I think I strafed a bit too wide there. I'm gonna help this guy out of the locker. He's been in there for quite some time. I think he might be hungry. Haven't got any food for him, but we have got a need for speed, and we're gonna try and get through and just avoid ending up like him, really. The faster we go, the less chance Harry's got of being stuffed in a locker. This is true facts. Have you ever seen Harry Mason stuck in a locker? I haven't. He's just too fast. So, school is nearly done. This is actually been a fairly decent school. I've not actually touched this game like properly in a good couple of months, so I'm happy that I'm remembering as much as I am. We've got valves coming up. So valve puzzle is an interesting puzzle. It is a set puzzle, but if things go wrong, it doesn't really matter too much. You can kind of claw your way back through it. And the way the IGT works in this game is it just helps you with, you know, if you do the wrong movement on the valve section, you don't lose too much time. But we pick up some shotgun shells there. We'll need those for much later. Picked up the health, the ampule there as well, just to really make sure I don't take too much damage. If I do, we've got options. So for this, you do 2 left turns on the right valve, then you do 1 right turn on this valve. If Harry wants to see it, one thing you'll find with Silent Hill games, particularly Silent Hill 1, is you can be looking at an object and Harry's just like, I don't see it. It's not there. It's not for me. Which is fine. You know, we can't all be, you know, efficient at looking at objects right in front of us. That's fine. So this is Splithead. He is a good boy. Give him a little boop snoot there. And he's dead. If you didn't know about that boss, he or it can kill you in one swipe, really. So when he opens up his mouth like that, if it closes on you, that's goodbye, Harry. Thankfully, though, if that ever happens, you can continue from the place where you died, generally speaking. In quite a few places. But yeah, he just takes 3 shots to the snoot. I went the wrong way, and then 2 to the open maw, and he's done. He takes a lot of damage when you've got the mouth open. I think it's something like, I think it's critical damage. I don't remember the exact figure for it. But that's school. School's out. We've graduated. And we're now going to go straight to church, and we're going to meet Dahlia. She is a interesting character. I like how she's wearing a school tie as well. Never quite understood that, but she rocks it. You know, she gets away with it, I think. But she also wears no shoes. I mean, this is Silent Hill, where everything's foggy and quite rusty. How are you wearing no shoes? I don't know why I mentioned that she doesn't wear any shoes, but it's an interesting fact that you now all know. There's also a little ledge here.
Interesting facts.
Oh, interesting. Let's go.
We have a couple donations. Do we have a moment?
Absolutely, yeah.
First one is a 14-pound donation from Miss Angie. No comment. Thank you, Miss Angie. And then I have also contributed my donation Successful Half Dead Run because I'm a gamer of my word. And on top of that, our 1,000-pound incentive for Poop Killer Showcase, starring our team leader Beep Salt, is open. If you want to see that happen, now is a great time to donate.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you for donating so far, guys. It's really incredible, all the donations that you've sent in. It's for a great cause, and very proud to be doing this as part of the Clock Tower team with members and friends alike. So yeah, if you want to, by all means, feel free to donate. It all goes to a good cause. And especially if you want to see Beep playing the poop games, you're in for a treat. Trust me. You want to see that. Here's church. We didn't see Dahlia. She left pretty quickly. We're done with church. We're now going to go to hospital. And this is where things start to get a little bit confusing with things like elevators and nurses and tentacles. I won't spoil that too much. Nothing bad happens with the tentacles. We just get rid of them. But there's also this room coming up, which, if you've seen a Silent Hill 1 speedrun, you'll probably notice is a room that a lot of speedrunners do not like. It's quite a small room. Mixing that with how Harry moves and just how jank the game can be sometimes. It can be a bit frustrating at times, especially if you're on a really good pace. So we're going to do a little walk turn here to get up into the room. Little tight turn. Turn left and right. Nice. That was, apart from the menuing there, that was chef's kiss. That's another little bit I did a little practice on earlier as well. I didn't want that to go wrong. So that's good. We've got that one done. These stairs, interesting fact, you can actually fall down them. I think it depends on the console you're playing, or if you're playing on emulator. I've not had it happen on PS2 too much, but sometimes you'll find that Harry just likes to fall forward a bit. It's not really any faster. It's just a weird little quirk that happens. So just going to try and get this lineup right here. There's a very nice lineup that means I don't have to turn too much, but I didn't do it quite right. Hospital gates are here. Am I going to meet Kaufman or Kaufman? I don't really know how to pronounce his name. I've always said Kaufman. Or Kaufman. Could be Kaufman. That could work too. Now this man, I'm just going to let this play for a little bit because this is something else. Just outright shoots Harry, right? Look at that.
Stop.
This is some next level Matrix nonsense. I don't know how he dodged that. I don't know how Harry's okay. Is Harry still dreaming? So that was that. We're gonna go get a little key here. We need this to get into the basement because we need to turn the elevators on. Also, what was my movement there? That was something. Now this is where our run deviates a little bit more from the any percent path. So what we'd normally do if we're doing any percent is we pick up the red liquid, the Aglafotis, because we use that to save Sybil. Is it this room? It's not this room. Uh-oh. I messed up. But we're gonna confront Sybil in this playthrough. Just because all bosses, she counts as a boss. And we're going to go to floor 2. For no reason, we just want to check what's here. Nothing's here. You'll notice there's only a few floors available. Floor 3. I wonder what's on floor 3. What is it? It's another locked door. Okay, let's go back in the elevator. Oh no, 4. The number of death. So this is where things are going to get real scary now. We've got Rusty Hospital. So I think I'm right in saying, I hope I'm not misquoting this, but 4 is the number of death in Japan. I don't think they actually have any, or they try not to have any floors labelled as 4. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a big part of that area. I might be wrong. I might be chatting nonsense, and if I am, please call me out on it. I'm just quoting things I've read online, which probably isn't the best thing to do. We've got a nice little bag of ketchup. we are going to bring that ketchup across, feed the tentacle creature on another floor in the hospital. Now hopefully these nurses don't grab me. Nice. Yeah, these nurses, they like to grab you sometimes. What you find, sometimes they'll just get in your way. Sometimes they'll grab you before going in the door. And sometimes they'll even grab you after going out of the door. It's really weird. I don't know why the game do that. It is... Okay, cool. I wasn't chatting nonsense then. That's good. That's good. The other thing you'll find is in this hospital area as well, the loading screens are kind of odd. You'll have a quick load on some staircases and a long load on others. But I think fastest speed helps with that. Oh, yes. Didn't get hit by the nurse. Excellent. So a little glitch here that we are allowed to do in this category. Normally you'd assume you've got to go up to the tentacles to use the ketchup bag. But you can actually do it as you walk into the room. So that makes it just so much easier and faster. But now we've got all 4 stones. We're going to head to this door here. And we're going to use the stones. So the order is quite nice. Up left, bottom right, then up right, bottom left. I think. Been a while, bear with me. Again, I'm using the D-pad for this one because somehow diagonals on the D-pad is faster, for me here anyway, than analog. And then... we've got Nurse Skip, which I did get, but it was kind of scuffed. But what would a marathon be without any scuff? He says, scuffing up that next movement as well. So we've got a key, we've now got an alcohol bottle, and we're now going to head down to the basement. So this is where that nurse sometimes gets in the way as well. But there is another cool glitch you can do in the basement, which I really like doing. You've got to be really quick with the menuing for it though. But essentially, you can make this next cutscene that happens. It's normally done with your flashlight on. But you can do it with your flashlight off, and it looks kind of cool. It's a weird thing to look kind of cool, but I'll see if I can hit it. So we're going to use the alcohol first. And then we're going to set that ablaze, these little vines. I didn't get it. It's okay. I don't want to say it's frame perfect, but it probably is. But just imagine this cutscene, but darker, and you can see what I was going for there. So, secret basement of the hospital. We're going to head to a girl called Alessa's room. Alessa is a dear friend of Harry. Kind of. Spoiler alert, sort of. If you don't know the story of Silent Hill 1, Alessa and Cheryl, they're kind of alike, you know, on many levels. They're 2 halves of one coin. That's not too spoilery, I don't think. But basement done. We have a key to get back out where we need to get to. And we picked up our last shotgun shells. So we should have... I'm trying to think how many shells you got on easy mode, but I really can't remember. I think it's 12 per pack. So we've got plenty to get through all the bosses we've got coming up. A nice little cutscene here with Lisa. Harry wakes up from the other world, meets Dahlia, and she is going to be telling us to go to the antique shop. So that's what we just picked up there, the antique shop key. I have had one instance, maybe 2 instances, where I've left the hospital and have gone all the way to the antique shop without picking up the key. Now you might think, oh, that's no problem, just go back and get it. But if you didn't realise there was a key there in the first place, you'll be searching around the entire town trying to find a key for this store. before realising that actually it was in the hospital. Although it's always fun, it's kind of cruel, but it's always fun watching people play this for the first time and seeing them miss the key. I get a little bit devilish when I see that happen. Because you kind of want to say something, but you also don't want to ruin the experience. It's a rite of passage in some cases. So this is in the area in the any % category where we'd be kind of gearing up to do a massive skip, which skips a boss fight. So this antique shop here, this staircase in particular, you've probably heard it referred to as Rumper Skip. So obviously we're not going to do that today. We're going to do the traditional, the fun way, the whole game way of playing the game. But Rumper Skip, it's sort of about, you know, halfway, 3/4 way part of the run. And if you're under immense pressure, it is very hard to do that under pressure in some cases. It feels amazing when you get it. But thankfully, we don't worry about that. What we do have to worry about, though, is setting up for the boss fight that's coming up. Because there is a nice setup that we've got for it. Oh, out we go. So we're going to go to the mall. There's going to be a nice little theme coming through here when it comes to the mall. We've got a mall, of course, for Silent Hill 3. And we've got a mall in Silent Hill 1. Coincidence? I think not. But maybe. Nice little hole there. We're going to go through there. And we're going to try and go up some escalators. But what we're going to find is that Cheryl, somehow, she's become a Twitch streamer. There she is. She's going to show up there in a second. Maybe it's this cutscene. There she is. Her first Twitch stream. And we're going to go up these escalators. And we're gonna head to this boss. So this boss is the precursor to the next boss we fight. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Oh, no, not nice. It just disappeared. Okay, that didn't go to plan, but it's fine. There it is. So we're going to shoot this a few times. Missed a shot. It takes about 5 shots to kill this creature. There we go. That got it. I'm going to pick this up just for safety because I did kind of mess up a little bit there. So that's called Twin Feeler. It's sort of the starting point of our next boss called Float Stinger, which is just a giant moth. Similar attacks. It will do a sort of spitting attack. What should have happened there is I should have strafed a little bit sooner perhaps, and that would have allowed the creature to kind of just come at me across that grating without a chance to go underground again. And that generally helps give us a 1 cycle there. So that was more like a 2 or 3 cycle. So Harry's now going to make his way back to the hospital. He's going to go see Lisa. He misses Lisa. It's been a while. I'm going to try and remember which way to go here. There's a few visual cues. There's some good shop names here as well, like Discount Variety. That's a good store. There's a cafe there. We've got a place called The Car Market. Logia Galaxy. But my favourite coming up just around this corner here, and I think you'll all appreciate this as well, unless I've gone the wrong way. There it is. Just Cats. I've never known a store to be called Just Cats, but I sure hope that they are filled with just cats and nothing else. Back to hospital now, and we're going to go see Lisa. She's going to give us our next key to the puzzle of where to go, which is in some dirty, stinky sewers. But that's okay, you know, we don't mind getting ourselves dirty to do a good job. Before we do that though, we have to turn this world, the other world, back into the normal world. And the way we do that is we're going to fight Float Stinger. So with this boss, we've got a little bit of tech here. We're going to do 1 shot, strafe, 1 shot, strafe, 1 shot, strafe, just repeat this a few times. I think that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go, Catman Mac. 9. Oh, got hit there. 10, 11. Nice, 11 shots. So the reason I'm kind of spacing out my shots there and counting them along is you don't want to pummel Float Stinger with all your bullets at once. There's a weird knack that you've got with this boss where your first shot, or the first shot you do, will take like maximum damage or like critical damage, but any follow-up shots within a certain time frame will do reduced damage. So spacing them out like that, so every sort of 2 to 3 seconds, just allows you to do maximum damage and do it in as minimal shots as possible. You can do it in less shots, I think, and the way I've done it isn't nearly as efficient as how other people do it now, because we kind of lose time on the strafe there a little bit, I think. But if you ever get the chance, watch Aaron, watch Saf, watch Borizzle's run, watch how they do the Float Stinger. It's really cool to watch. You sort of see them kind of go up to it and get really close to it and just make it kind of hit you but not quite hit you. Sewer time. We're going to shoot this lock. I'm glad my PS2 controller hasn't messed up there, because what I've had happen before, I've had my aim button get stuck in the controller. So I've done really good there on a run. Broke the lock and then realised I'm still aiming because the button didn't unrelease. Thankfully, no such meme today. Speaking of memes though, this next section, nice, pretty good. We've got some creatures here which like to get in the way. Now this one has moved early, so it's going to hit me, not a problem. There's a small audio cue you can get to not get hit by that particular creature. I wasn't really paying attention to it there myself though. I think it's this way. Yes, it is. So you can get these sewers done with no damage. It's not always going to happen, because on the way back there is one creature which likes to get in the way. But for the most bit you can generally do that with 1 or less hits, which is nice. So this is our way back now. So this guy on top, just going to try and hit us but miss. Swing and a miss, that's fine. And I'm going to use my camera here to try and help me with this. I don't know if this is going to be any efficient, but I've heard him moving. Hit me again. That's fine. Kind of expect it on a sort of semi sort of derust / event run. These things are always going to happen. So halfway through Sewers 1, and I haven't forgotten the way yet. This is actually pretty good. I'd hope I haven't forgotten it. I used to run this game quite a lot. I'm aiming to do it again soon, but it's just one of those things where I think a lot of this is down in the old memory banks, thankfully. We now need to escape the sewers. I don't quite know how it works having like 2 levels in the sewers but still having water around me. That's for people smarter than me to, I think, explain and describe. But Harry's going to go fishing. There's a theme with male Silent Hill characters, I think, and sticking their hands in dirty toilet / sewage water. I'm not too sure why they do it. I mean, I respect the decision. That's fine, you know, you do you, boo. But I personally wouldn't. I mean, you know, James Sunderland, he does it. Harry Mason does it. Henry Townsend, I mean, I don't think he does, but I think he's the type of person that would. But Heather, no, she's an angel. She doesn't do that. There we go. Look at that. Sewer water key. We've got it. That's our exit key for the sewers. Scary green frogs coming up on the ledge there, but we're going to avoid them. They're not too bad. Thankfully, because we run on easy mode, we don't have too much damage dealt to us, and the spawns for these are much, much nicer. These cockroaches, though, they like to get in the way. But they weren't a problem there, so that's excellent. We've got a gatekeeper here now as well. So if I take a wide line here, perfect. No issue. Gatekeeper was fine. So that's sewers 1. Yes, there is another sewers. It's not as windy as that. It's a little bit nicer, not as long. But we are actually closing up towards the sort of final sort of 15 to 20 minutes of the game, depending on how well these next boss fights go. We're about to head to the resort. There is a romper here, which is going to try and pounce on me. This is where I like to have the light off sometimes. I'll turn it on a bit to kind of see where I'm going. But yeah, you see he's kind of gearing up. He may well get me. I've dodged him exactly once running this game when he's been chasing me. But for the most part, I kind of get past him. Other times, it's always when you're on a good pace. Whenever you're on a good pace, that's when the rompers will decide to pounce on you. So speaking of getting pounced on, this section we're going to do completely in the dark. Kind of. There are rompers around here which will try and get us. And I'm fairly sure light source will kind of affect how they aggro to you. So I just like to do this bit in darkness. We're going to turn a little bit to try and avoid any issues with positioning. That's good. Turn it back on here once we're past like the main area. We're going to turn left up here, and I'm going to turn my light off again because we've got an air screamer or a flapper, if you want to call it a flapper. That is perfectly fine. And hopefully doing this, we do not spawn. Oh. We spawned the dog, but the dog was in a good place. That's good. That's we've got boat section. There we go. That was actually a really good entry. I'm happy with that. Small cutscene here with Sybil and Dahlia. I've gone the wrong way there. Let's go that way. That might help. So Sybil's, I think, going to go to the amusement park from there. I kind of forget what happens in that cutscene. Like, I skip it so much. This is the infamous top of stairs section. And we got top of stairs in a marathon run, no less. Excellent. If we can get some hype for top of stairs. It's nice to get that again, actually. It's been a while. I was hoping to show that off. Again, this section we're going to try and do in the dark. It is partly to do with these air screamers that are around. We want to try and minimize any damage or any sort of issues with them getting in the way for us. So we're just going to try and do this here. Yeah, that's good. Again, if you're kind of starting out the run of this, you can do this in the light if you like. It's not a big deal. But having the light off, it will be, yeah, largely more efficient. I mentioned the bridge control room being my favourite room in the game earlier. I lied, it's this room. We've got tank controls with Harry and a very winding spiral staircase which does not lend itself well to tank controls. Now, whether that was an intentional choice or whether that was just Konami saying we're going to mess with the players here a bit, I respect it. It's fine. You'll notice I'm doing a little walking step every now and then to try and keep Harry largely in the right position. It just helps slow him down. It helps stop him from going too far over and going back up the stairs, which I have done in a run before, surprisingly enough. Gone back up to the top of the lighthouse, enjoyed the view. So there's another dog here which might get in the way. It's not a top of stairs dog, but he is fine. Out of the way. Nice. We're going to make our way to sewers 2, and you're going to see the amusement park. So the strange thing with the amusement park is, depending on what version of the game you're playing, or which version of the game you're speedrunning, you may see all of the amusement park if you're running the PAL version of the game, because you can't do the skip that's coming up, or meant to be coming up. But on the NTSC versions, you can do the skip perfectly fine. what we'd do is we'd use the Aglaophotis not on Sybil, but on one of the larval stalkers. That's one of those sort of shadowy children that you'd see on the floor. And the game kind of thinks that's Sybil, so you just skip the fight, you skip the run through to the amusement park. But I find the great thing with the amusement park is the frame rate just tanks, and you're going to see this in a second. I don't know why, I just enjoy it so much, just seeing the game kind of stutter to a crawl in that one particular area. And we're coming up to that very, very quickly as well. But it's also where we have like the saddest fight in the game as well. Because we're gonna confront Sybil. We don't like the job that Sybil's been doing. She's not helped us find our daughter. She's done nothing. She's just kind of, you know, went around, went to amusement park. It's the epitome of F around and find out. There we are. There's our frame rate. Just kind of tanks a little bit there. I'm not too sure why it does it there. I think there's maybe stuff moving around, perhaps. Turn right here, and there is our entrance to the carousel. Don't go there too tight. So this fight could be interesting. I'm gonna very quickly just heal up. So I've taken some damage. I've taken a lot of damage. All right, let's pop this bad boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. So what we did there, very, very cool strat. What we did there is we tried to dodge Sybil's bullets. Can you aim, Harry? Thank you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, reload. I forgot about this. 7, 8, 9. Nice. Didn't even get slapped once. That's good. So we took Sybil out of the game. She's okay. She's having a little nap. She'll be back, I'm sure, at some point in the game, probably. She won't. She's just resting. But yeah, we can avoid her gunshots entirely there with that cool strat. I think she'll either shoot you like, 10 or 14 times and then drop the gun. But if you do enough damage to her, the gun just drops completely, which is excellent for us. But without the gun, she'll try and grab you, she'll slap you, she'll strangle you. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're into that, that's cool. That's fine. Don't mind me. But we want to try and avoid that in a speedrun for obvious reasons. And this is the infamous nowhere, where everything kind of melts together. We've got parts of the school and we've got parts of the hospital, all kind of blending into one. It's, I guess it's kind of like an amalgamation of Alessa's memories. Sorry, Cheryl's memories, Alessa's memories. Gonna use this. Hopefully I did this right. Yes. Get the Fawcett key. And then we've got a few puzzles coming up in quick succession. So we've got a Zodiac puzzle, and we've then got the Alert puzzle. And then I call it the Lightbox puzzle. I don't know if it's a Lightbox puzzle. I've got to remember the order for this. So this is 6, 4, and 8. Nope, that's still 4. 8. There we go. Yeah, got the Stone of Time there. But that was a kind of okay way of doing it. It could have been faster, but it's one of those things. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it won't. Now this, A-L-E-R-T. I missed one of the buttons there. I've seen people type it all in fully but miss the T, or I've seen people misspell it accidentally and type in alert before. It happens if you try and do it fast. It's one of them things. Sad cutscene. Lisa realizes that she's not actually real, or if she is, she's just a manifestation or something like that. That's low-key a really good track though. I like that track. No, you're looking at it, Harry. It's right there. There you go. That happens. It's a sad time when it happens, but it happens. Yeah, if you've got any Lisa emotes, you can pop them in chat as well. Let's show some Lisa love. So yeah, nowhere is kind of locked behind certain doors. You need sort of named keys, like this Haggith, I think is one of the doors we just went through. It's a Felag, I think. So this is the lightbox puzzle. I'll try and do it smoothly. Oh god, okay. Oh wow, this is... Oof. I should have practiced that bit, huh? So a little trick we've got for that door, one of my friends told me this, is to hum Jingle Bells in your head. If you tap the buttons to the tune of Jingle Bells, you'll generally get that quite nicely every time. No matter the time of year, Jingle Bells will help you with that. Right, so there is the ring. Hands up, anybody who's played this game and got eaten or swallowed by the fridge. There's no shame in it. We've all done it. I hope. At least I hope it wasn't just me. So we've got to put a ring on the fridge to stop it from snacking us up. And that's just in this next room. And we're in the very sort of final sort of stages of the run now. So I'm gonna put the ring on first. Always the best way to do it. Ring first and then pull the sword out. You can do it anyway. Pull the sword out, then put the ring on. I don't think either way is faster than the other. But it just helps sort of make sure you've done it. Now Harry is hungry. He wants some jelly beans. Look at that, 39 flavors. But Harry's going to create one more flavour of jelly bean. That's right. Floor flavour. We've got rust. Rusty jelly beans. And now we're going to turn the power off. Because we want to get another key. But it's kind of locked behind a panel. And we want to not electrocute ourselves. We don't want that for good old Harold here. So another little quick check, tech check here. Can I turn the light off here? Yes, didn't get grabbed. So there's a few shadowy children in that corridor, and what they do is they have a tendency to grab you. So if you kind of brush off of that cart that we did there, and if you have the light turned off as you kind of go into the area, you can generally avoid getting grabbed, which is really cool. It's a really good strat. Now I haven't done an ammo check. I don't think I need to. I think we're okay. But light off in this room as well, because there's another enemy there. And we're actually coming up to the final room very shortly. Got a boss to kill, of course, first. But oh, the boss is not the chair. The fabled chair Vortex, the Silent Hill one. But all these items we've been collecting up, these red discs and anks and stuff like that, we're gonna pop these in this door here. This is gonna unlock for us and lead us to our final room, where we're gonna confront. I forget the name of this boss. I've always known it as Incubus, but I think Incubator is the other one. I think Incubus is the one that flies. We're gonna have the flying one, I think. Wait, I'm getting my endings mixed up, I think. Let's find out together, shall we? Nice descent into hell there. Time's gonna be coming up very shortly here on this one. I think it is the fly. No, it's this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps forward. Wait for the charge attack on the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm out of ammo. Okay, let's do this. We'll let the attack hit. And one more, perhaps? There we go. That's time. I was 1 shot short. I think was that going to be a 6 shot or a 5 shot? I wasn't really counting. But that's Silent Hill 1. That's all bosses. Thank you, Daddy. Goodbye. Yeah. So you kind of see a little bit more of the game that way, in all its low frame rate glory. I'm gonna skip the song coming up here because it's known, I think, to get DMCA'd or muted. So I'll just save the trouble there. But we'll jump straight into our final time, our IGT time, which is what we want. So hopefully I've not embarrassed myself too much there. There's Harry having a little snooze. Got some outtakes here. Which I can leave playing if you want. But yeah, that was Silent Hill 1.
Reference, you're at 53.
Oh wow, way underestimate then. Brilliant. Excellent.
Well, we're gonna take a break so you can switch over to your next game, okay?
Absolutely.